Hi, welcome to our special course about getting her back on a distance, where you don't live together, where the only way to communicate is through messengers, where you live in another town or even another country, where there is no chance of actual physical meeting as long as someone is not willing to fly to another place or take a train to another place. Now, that would be a very challenging situation just 10 or 15 years ago, even when internet was available, but the culture of using messenger apps wasn't there. It was really challenging to do something like this, because everything was you meeting together. But now, when people are so used to interacting to each other over the phone, they put a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotion into the words they see on the screen from another person. They are accustomed to sending each other photos. They are accustomed to sending each other voicemails. We're more accustomed to calls. And in fact, a good thing that you can write or send a voicemail rather than call, because you can prepare. You can think what to tell her. In a way, being away from each other and having only messengers to communicate allows enough distance for all the conflicts and disappointments to disappear. And if you use the right words, if you use the right phrases, the right timing, the right voice tone in the voicemails that you send, you will be able to create such a strong desire in her to be together with you again, that there is a very big chance of her wanting to actually fly to wherever you are, or ride to wherever you are, to actually come to you, not even expecting for you to pay for her ticket, although it would be a good thing to do so. So if you're not only separated by living in different places, but also different countries, different towns, this course is for you. Although it would work for anyone who has only one way to communicate, through a messenger. And even if you're blocked on Messenger, as I told you in the main course and in other courses, it's never a problem. Because, come on, you can just get another SIM card and open a new account and connect with her. And the question remains only, what exactly do you say in that first message so she unblocks you and allows your communication to continue? And usually, the best thing to say there, that really works in most cases, is you say that, I'm very sorry I hurt you. Hurt you to the point that you made perhaps a good decision, a fair decision, to block all communication with me. I completely agree with your decision. I accept your decision not to have a relationship with me anymore. I will move on. But I would really not want us to stay enemies and never talk to each other. I think we might regret it later when we're older. So if you don't mind, I just want us to stay in contact as friends and very rarely communicate. So there is no bad blood between us. There is no bad feelings between us. You say that thing, and the chances are that she will unblock you. They are very, very high that she will unblock you. Now, of course, when you hear me say those things, you say, well, that's not what I want. I don't want her to accept her being not with me. I don't want her to never give a chance to our relationship. Why would I write the opposite thing to what I really want? You have to understand there is a difference between men and women. I don't know where it comes from. Is it culturally programmed, or is it something that comes through our instincts? I don't know. I just know it's for a fact that in most cultures, starting from cultures in the East to the cultures in the West, it's the same thing. Men are usually more direct, in fact, too direct in what they want, most cases. Women are, if they say something, that means that they mean it. That's what I feel right now. So there's a huge difference between what they feel right now and what they will feel tomorrow. And all you need to do is confirm her feelings right now. Agree to whatever she feels right now for her to relax and open up to you. And when she opens up to you, then you can choose to do certain things that we're going to do to gradually move her from one place to another place. There's an old trick. You know how they make fake animation for children with a little notepad? You draw a stick figure that, every next step is slightly different. And when you kind of flip through it, the stick figure walks. But if you would give a child one piece of that let's say every day, he would not see the stick figure walk. And that works with any long-term strategy when you want to change someone's behavior. You change a little bit every day instead of doing something gradually. And the first thing you need to do if you want to change her mind, you want to agree to whatever she's thinking right now. If she blocks you, she means she will never interact with you ever again. Just see that you agree with that you hurt her, you agree that you were a horrible human being, you agree that you will never have a relationship again, agree with all those things, you just don't want to stay enemies. Deep down inside, of course, that's what everybody feels. She feels this way as well, even she said otherwise. If you finally hurt her, she gets that feeling that you finally hurt her, then the chances are she will open up to you, at least to the point of simple interaction. And then you will gradually do what we're going to do in this course. So that's in case when she blocked you. In case if she didn't block you, just start from this point. This point is now the same for whether she blocked you or not. So you start communicating with her on a regular basis. And you do it gradually. We essentially have 4 different kinds of communication, and we go from one step to the next step to the next step to the next step. First step, you just wish her good morning or good night every day, and you ask her how she's doing. That's all. And it doesn't really matter if she responds or not. Because here's the thing. Women like attention. But what women like even more is attention which is appropriate to her mood. In the beginning, if she has defenses against her, anything stronger than neutral will be alarm, alarm, alarm. But something neutral, he asked me how I'm doing. Fine. And you may think, well, that's not effective, just asking her how she's doing and wishing her good morning. That's nothing. Well, wait until a different point. She will also think it's nothing until you take it away from her. So here's the key. You ask her how is she doing and wish her good morning or good night. And you do it consistently every day for, let's say, 7 or 8 days. Then for 3 days, you take it away. You stop doing that. Guess what? No matter if she thought that she doesn't care and she didn't even answer, just read it, the fact that you stopped doing it will mean that, I lost something. Something is missing. So she will start looking for it, like she will start missing it. And in 3 days, you say, hi, how are you doing? Sorry, I was busy for a few moments. Like, this will feel, interesting. And you will probably get a bigger answer. Even best situation, when you don't write this for 2 days, she will write it herself. So you give her constant but neutral attention, and then you remove it. Then you come back. When you come back, you start giving a little bit more information about her, about your communication. Since you're in different countries or different cities, this is very important. You start giving her information which is very appropriate for people from different places. You start saying, well, today we have this kind of weather, and I photographed a sunset for you. You show her the sunset. So you start giving her a part of the world that you live in, which is very appropriate. If you just have a friend, let's say you just have a friend from a different country or different city, I think it's appropriate to say, well, it's cold here, what about you, right? So you start giving information about the place you're in. And also, you remember the strategy of giving one picture a day so they don't see the picture moving, right? For 5 days, you just do something like that. And then for 2-3 days, you add something. And let's say you not just send a sunset, but you send a sunset and you also add something like, and I remember the sunset we had together and the memory. So let me get back to one concept which I probably mentioned in other courses, very important. A lot of things that you would do without this course are correct, but they're in the wrong order. They're too early. If you would start by romantically sending her a sunset and reminding her of a beautiful evening you once spent together, after she broken up with you and she's in another place, she will react negatively. But if you prepared everything, you first normalized just communicating with her every day. You made her feel how it feels like when you're not communicating with her every day. Then you're starting showing her what's going on with you, what's going around you, so she gets that normal and standard. That becomes your normal communication. And then you add a memory. So slowly you can get to that. If you do it too fast, the guard will go up. But here, since you're doing it slowly, she will not notice how your relationship changed to the point that it's normal. And she will just accept that. And from this moment on, you send a beautiful picture, add something romantic. So essentially, you're coming to a situation where you are very, very romantically involved. You just do it slowly, gradually. In fact, imagine the ideal interaction you would have online before she just screams with passion, takes on a plane and flies to you. What that thing should be, what kind of interaction should it be? And then you can imagine step where you are now and situation where you're now, and imagine us like a ladder from here to there. Like, and every step you do something for a week, you add something, you add something, you add something. And it's the same with that stick picture figure. It moves slowly. So slowly that she doesn't see how the figure moved. And then there will be no guard. That's the good thing about it. And that's a good thing about your situation. Because if you would be, let's say, in the just near her, in the same house, it would be hard to be so slow and deliberate. So next step, you start using certain romantic things. Fourth step, you start flirting. This is a slightly different thing because you imply sexual things. If you want to know more about flirting, we have a specific course about flirting, and specifically about flirting online as well. I invite you to really try it. Once flirting is also engaged, you start using what-if scenarios. So, what if you would still be together? What it would feel like? You kind of dream together. Once that becomes normal, and even she jokingly, supposedly jokingly, talks about being together, you can actually say, I had a dream that we're still together. I know that we decided to be separated, but it's just interesting how this dream, and she asks, how do you feel like? I felt happy. And that's where things start getting magical. You do it slowly, week and a half on every step. And then, if you do what I told you, and you do what our main course teaches, and you add some things from the flirting course, or you just order my personal help, I will actually write those letters for you. It's very easy. You can actually tell me more about your girlfriend, and we'll construct what works for her. My translators will translate to your language. They're all trained psychologists, so they will not mistranslate anything. And they already know this method. And we will together construct it for you. But even if you don't do that, all you need to do is make a picture of ideal communication that you would have, and then take what's happening there and start with what is most safe and furthest from, actual interaction of two people in love. Start with that. Do it for a week, but consistently. Take it away for a few days. Next, do something which is slightly more romantic, then slightly more. And in 2 months, it's a completely different communication. Completely different. You see how it works? And this is the power of being away, because you're not only engaging how slow the communication online happens, you're also engaging the fact that since you're not there, with time she can forget all the things that she didn't like maybe about you, and create an ideal version of how she sees you. Kind of this idealized magical version of you and her. So this is very important. And this really works. Just trust the process. As usual, after you stop watching this course, you will need to take a pause, kind of take it in, think about how it all works, and listen to it again, now with a notepad, and actually make notes. If you have any questions, ask me those questions underneath this course, and I will do everything I can to help you. I wish you all the best in getting her back. Trust me, you think your situation is more complicated because you're away from her, but in reality, in many ways, it's easier for you than anybody else because the power of messaging. One of the additional things I want to share with you is using voicemail. You may underestimate how beautiful your voice can sound. If I would be speaking in my untrained voice, it would be much higher and much more annoying. But if I put it lower into my belly and speak slower, it sounds more calm and assertive for our communication. But for women, this kind of voice sounds more sexual. And if I would be talking very close to the microphone of my phone, and I will use slightly intonations like this, those little creaking intonations, then even a simple "Hi, how are you doing? How's your morning going?" will send sexual shivers through her body. So training to use your voice for voicemail is very strong. And I want you to try something. Just say the word in your own language. "Hi, how are you?" And now try to say it with completely relaxed body, with the deepest note you can. Add those croaking intonations that are called fry in English. Hi, how are you doing? Now this is the voice that you should use to send all the voicemails to her. Every time you send a voicemail, use that intonation, and you can say even very banal things, and they will still sound sexy and attractive to her. That's the magic of using voicemail to seduce her, without even saying anything that she will be defended against, just the voice. It's really, really powerful. Another thing that helps is practice. So all the things you do. If you're unsure that what if I do it wrong? What I screw up? What if I lose her in the process? She is the one. Create a profile on a dating site. You may use your own image, but you feel like, I don't want to use my own image. What if she finds out? Generate a fake person. There's now ways to generate a fake photo with artificial intelligence. They actually create you a person that doesn't exist. And start communicating with just women online. And when you do that every day, practice all the things that I showed you, and you will become more confident with those things. You will make all the mistakes with people who don't matter that much in your life, and then you will come to her completely prepared and ready. And it will be a completely different experience for you. Because you will be very confident, you will not make any mistakes with her. So this is something that really works. Remember that the best approach takes time, but it gives you much better approach and much better results. That's most important. Thank you so much. Take 15-minute break, watch this course again, and get to action. I know you'll be able to get her back. I believe in you. I trust that you can. I'll see you soon. All the best to you. You will get her back. I believe in you.